What's up, guys? Thanks for checking out this episode of Cory's Car Review. Behind me is this beautiful 2002 ZO6 Corvette C5. C5 started in 1997, ran from 97 to 04. They offered the ZO6 option in 2001. Came with 385 horsepower. They bumped that up to 405 horsepower 2002, 3, and 4. Something I didn't know until I was doing some research. They actually offered a ZO6 option in 1963. So I don't know how many of you already knew that. I asked Bob, the owner of this car, and he said he already knew that. I didn't know that. So 63 was the first year they offered the ZO6 option. It was called a regular production option. There were only 199 ZO6 Corvettes produced in 63. Came with a fuel-injected 327, 360 horsepower, mounted to a 4-speed manual and a Posi-Track rear end. They had heavier-duty shocks and heavier-duty springs, power disc brakes, and probably I think the coolest option is a 36.5-gallon fuel tank. And I don't know where on earth they would shove a 36.5-gallon fuel tank in a 63 Vet, but it's pretty cool. It was like I mentioned, there were only 199 of them produced, and it was an $1,800 option. So you can imagine an $1,800 option in 1963. Apparently, there were only 199 guys that could afford that. As I mentioned, C5 body style, and these are such cool cars. This Millennium Yellow is the lowest production number of colors that they offered in the 02 Z06. From 2001 to 2004, there were 28,388 Z06s produced. And how about we just dive in and start talking about this one? The C5 body style had these flip-up headlights. And there are some guys that will change these flip-up headlights to actual headlights. And me personally, I don't like them. I don't think they look good. To me, with this body style, leaving these headlights original that's what you want to do. Come around the front, you've got this nice Corvette. You got the Corvette logo here in the front. This license plate cover says Corvette right here. That does pop off if you're in a state that requires a front license plate. Of course, on this car, I would leave that on there and just set the license plate up on the dash. I know that's what a lot of guys do. Move on to the side. These wheels are the actual Corvette wheels that came with this car. It was did you say $1,800, Bob? Huh? $1,200 option. Bob's the owner of this beautiful car. He let us come out and show you today. $1,200 option. I thought all of these Z06s came with the machine gray Z06 wheels. This one was the factory polished aluminum Z06 wheels. So some guys think that these are factory. This is actually or guys think they're aftermarket. That's actually a factory wheel. Something different from from an 01 Z06. The Z06 badge looks like that. It just says Z06. 2002 through 2004, since they bumped the horsepower up to 405, they incorporated 405 horsepower in the Z06 fender badge, which is pretty cool. These are factory cooling vents. Sucks air in through these vents, and it cools the rear brakes. Those are functional. This is another functional, or not functional, another factory part on this car is this Mako Shark molding. That's what I couldn't think of what I wanted to say. So something that's unique to the Z06 models is this mesh netting right here in the front. You can only get that option with the Z06s. and these are optional. These are your cooling ducts for the front brakes and the air intake to help with the filter. Something else that I want to tell you guys is also with the Z06, they have a completely different suspension than your factory C5 Corvette. And as we talked about the wheels, 2002 was the only year that these rear wheels are actually wider than an 01 Z06, an 03, and an 04 Z06. The same wheels, but 02 is actually, they're just a hair wider than the other Z06 models. All of the Z06s are a fixed roof, like this one is. You move around the back. So this is what the 2001 Z06 badge looks like. It says Z06, and then it doesn't have the 405 underneath of it. So that's what the 01 badge would look like. It says Corvette right here in the back. You've got the quad tips back there in the back. You got the Corvette logo here on this trunk. Just a cool car. I haven't talked about much of the motor, so I'm going to pop the hood and we'll show you the motor. So under the hood of this, you got a 5.7 liter LS6, 405 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. And I really like, as I mentioned, if you guys have seen the 17 Chevrolet SS we did, I mentioned that I wish Chevrolet would have put some kind of aftermarket engine cover where it looked nicer than just all black. That's what I'm talking about. Red valve covers, says Corvette right here. Of course, you've got the air intake down there. Brings air from underneath the car and down into the throttle body right here, into the intake. You got the battery located over on the passenger side, and that's it. It's all factory. That's what's so cool about this car. It's hadn't been lowered. There's no supercharger. There's no turbo. It's all naturally aspirated. It's just, this is how it would have came, or this is how it did come from the factory, and that's what's pretty cool. Open this back. A couple pieces of paper I want to show you that's pretty neat. He has the original window sticker he had laminated. See the purchase price, $51,000, 2002. And here is the factory build sheet he had laminated, which is pretty, both of those are pretty neat things to keep. One thing I found in this book, the colors. So 2002 ZO6 models, Quicksilver 1467, Electron Blue was 1814, 2205 of the black, the Torch Red was 1746, Millennium Yellow 1065. So out of all those colors, the most rare color is this Millennium Yellow at 1065. And I think it's funny that we found a yellow one, because black and yellow are, isn't that a song? Black and Yellow? Who sings that?
Don't let me lie.
Anyway, black and yellow are probably my two favorite colors on vehicles. Now I know it has to be the certain color, but I mean, this pulls it off. I mean, the yellow on this car is just awesome. So out of all the years that I've been around these cars, I did not know this until this car, but this handle is an actual handle that was designed to help you get in and out of this car. And I didn't know that until just now, but I'll show you what I mean. So you get in and actually put your hand right here. Oh, that's a hell of a lot easier than the last 38 years I've been getting in and out of these. So now we're in the driver's seat. Let me show you all these gauges. So on your bottom right there, you've got your temperature gauge. Then the next one is your oil pressure. You've got your tach, which says ZO6 right there, and it's got the checkered pattern back behind there. 200-mile-an-hour speedometer. And on your right, you've got your battery gauge and your fuel gauge. Then you've got all these. You've got these options right here. You got your fuel button. These are all different buttons. They're all numbered. Fuel gauges, your trip odometer options, reset. That's your radio, your driver and passenger thermostat settings. It says ZO6 right there in the dash. And an interesting spot is that oh shit handle. Usually they're a little bit lower down or kind of on the door panel, the door panel, or kind of over here. But it's interesting that they've got it so far forward from the seat. Something that's nice on these seats is you've got the ZO6 embroidered right there on the leather. And then all that is open. It's supposed to be normally open. That is actually an aftermarket cover to keep stuff from sliding around back there, but that's kind of cool. It says ZO6 405 horsepower. Something that I forgot to mention is all of these ZO6s are all 6-speeds. That's the only way that a ZO6 will come, is a 6-speed. You got your also important traction control button. Push it once and it illuminates that your traction control is off. You can actually push it and hold it, and then that's active handling. And you can actually do turn this around. Hey, what's up? You can actually do the active handling for track mode. So you still have traction control, but it doesn't allow you to smoke the tires. If you want to smoke the tires, though, just push it once, comes up traction control off, and you're ready to light them up. Leather interior, which they all come with leather interior. I know you guys are dying for us to fire this up so you can hear it, and let's fire it up and we'll go for a ride. Guys, thanks for checking out this video. I hope you like this Z06 as much as I do. Huge shout out to Bob for letting us come out here and film his beautiful car. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, share these videos with all your friends, and we'll catch you next time. All of these Corvette, 4 seconds. Let's do that over. I know that was. Guys, thanks for checking out this episode.